When you look at the global stage of parasports, Indonesia is an absolute force. At the 2023 ASEAN Para Games alone, their athletes took home 401 medals. This chart compares the country's recent medal counts. As you can see right here, the parasport teams are consistently outperforming able-bodied Indonesian athletes by a factor of 3 to 1. But they achieved this success with a fraction of the national sports budget, and in a country that possesses almost zero inclusive training infrastructure. Their current dominance isn't the result of a well-funded, sustainable pipeline. It is a statistical anomaly built on sheer human willpower. Out of the nearly 23 million disabled individuals living in Indonesia, those with high support needs, like severe cerebral palsy, face the steepest climb. For them, the biggest hurdle to entering athletics isn't a lack of physical wheelchair ramps. It is a state of mind researchers call psychological terror. A lifetime of severe physical isolation erodes a person's sense of agency. Before they ever touch a piece of sports equipment, they are conditioned to believe that movement is impossible. Physical stadiums cannot solve a problem where the athlete remains trapped inside their own mind. To bypass this, a team in Indonesia developed Viraci. This is a proprietary, medical-grade, virtual reality adaptive care system designed specifically for athletes rather than consumer gaming. The software relies on a 3-level intervention, starting with sensory reconnection. By feeding specific visual stimuli through the headset, the system artificially triggers mirror neurons inside the user's brain. Almost instantly, this visual trickery provides deeply isolated individuals with a sudden, perceived sense of physical control over their own limbs. Before you can train the body, you have to activate the brain's motor centers to prove that action is actually possible. We move to the second stage, zero-gravity motor rehearsal. Here, we see the system tracking virtual throws. In this virtual environment, a user executes over 100 repetitions, locking in vital muscle memory without suffering the physical exhaustion that normally limits athletes with cerebral palsy. The hardware even integrates customized haptic feedback, engineered to manage and compensate for muscle spasticity during these motions. The final step of the intervention places the user into a competitive atmosphere module. Using simulated crowd noise and immersive arena environments, it proactively desensitizes the user to stadium panic long before they face a live audience. This graph plots the results from a recent 2-week clinical trial. You can see a sharp 40% upward spike in the user's general self-efficacy scores, paired with an 85% retention rate. The technology addresses both the physical fragility and the deep-seated mental anxiety holding these athletes back. With the medical proof of concept established, the next hurdle is geographic. How do you deploy this across an archipelago of over 17,000 islands? Historically, physical infrastructure was the bottleneck. Building a single, fully inclusive training stadium requires roughly $2 million in capital expenditure. This graphic shows the alternative. That massive $2 million price tag is replaced by a single mobile VR scouting unit that costs just $500. That 99% drop in cost makes a national talent search economically viable for government sports programs and private clinics alike. By removing these financial barriers, elite athletic scouting shifts from a localized privilege to a decentralized, accessible network. The rollout begins in Surakarta, the recognized geographic hub for Indonesian parasports. From there, Phase 2 pushes these mobile units out across all 34 provinces, establishing a direct rural-to-national talent pipeline. The operational goal for the first year is to uncover over 500 hidden athletes in rural areas, graduating them with a 72%